Hi everyone, I hope all of you are doing good. As you can understand, today we are back with another lesson, and by my background, I think you already know that what we are going to talk about. We are going to talk about Python loops. We are going to understand how the loop works, why we need loop. Also, by the end of the lesson, you will know that this is one of the most significant parts of core Python that we are going to be learning because throughout our career as tech professionals, if we if we consider ourselves uh, down the line 5 years in some position into tech only, then looping is something is going to be always with us. There is also another name for it. It's called iteration. We'll walk through everything. We'll understand that what exactly is an iteration and how loop helps us to do that. Okay, so let's go ahead and do it. So what are basically loops? Loops in Python is basically a concept that helps you to iterate over multiple items. Okay. Now when I say iterate, what do I mean by this? So let's say there is a box. Okay. So let's say there is a box. Let me drag it up like this, and it has, let's say, three items. Okay. If you want, I can, yeah, let's keep it three, or if you want, you can also increase this. Yeah, all right. So I have four items here, right? Now, let's say out of these four items, I have, let's say, two items like this. Two items marked with yellow. Okay. Now let's say the task that is given to you is basically to find out the particular items which are marked with yellow, right? So you have one and two item, and then there is an empty box, then there is another empty box which is basically there to ensure that these two items are shifted from this particular box to this particular blank box, right? So how exactly this works? This works with the help of loop. Okay, so let's say my loop for the very first time goes into this. Okay, goes into this and checks that if the yellow highlight is there in the first item or not. This is my first item, this is my second item, this is my third item, and this is my fourth item, right? So for loop number one, okay, so understand there are multiple loops. Here I will have four loops: first loop, second loop, third loop, and fourth loop. Okay, so for the first loop, it will get into this particular box. It will see that okay, now I have that yellow highlighted circle. Okay, so what that this will do, this will simply go ahead and okay, yeah let me again pick up an highlighter. Yeah, it will simply go ahead and why the marker is not working? Okay, now I think it will work. It will simply go ahead and take up, let me put this forward. Yeah, it will straight away go ahead and take this in the new box. Okay, for the second time, I'll just mark it yellow later, but for just for your understanding, I'm showing it like this. For the second loop, it will again go here, but this time it will see that this is blank. It is not yellow, so it will not do anything. For the third time, again, it will straight ahead search for this. This is, let me pull this up. Yeah, okay. It will search for this. It will again see that okay, I have something that matches my requirement. So what I will do, I will simply go ahead and put it up. Okay, for the third iteration, okay, or for the third loop, again it will go here. Okay, let me, sorry, let me put up the arrow somewhere else. Yeah, okay. It will say that there is nothing of this short yellow, so it will keep it as it is. So this way, what just happened, we are able to take the two particular item from one box to another with the help of loop. And how many loops we ran? First loop, second loop, third loop, fourth loop, right? So if I even, let me drag the loops in the same place. Second loop, third loop, and here you have your fourth loop, right? So you have all the loops placed into here, and you have shorted the individual elements that you wanted to do from the bigger box, and the items are now shifted to the smaller one. Clear, everyone? So let's go ahead and look into the coding implementation of the same. Okay, I think this screen size looks good. So there are two kinds of loop. Okay, the first one we call it a for loop. The second one, sorry, we call it a while loop. Okay. Now there are significant differences between these two. We will learn all of this, right? The first one is for loop. So let's go ahead and learn how exactly the for loop works. So let's say I write this, okay? I put up a list. Let's say I'm putting up a list. It says apple, banana, orange. Okay. Now, what if I want to access the items of the list? Okay. So I can do one thing. I can simply go ahead and print list. It is going to give you everything. Let it connect. Okay. Apple, banana, and orange. Okay. But here I am getting the whole list as an element together. What if I want to access the elements one by one? In that case, I can make use of a for loop. Okay, so how exactly do we write? For is my first keyword. Okay, then I put items. Now let me be clear. Here where I'm writing item, we are simply signifying the elements inside of the list. Okay, so instead of items, you can write I, you can write K, you can write O, whatever is there, it does not matter. Okay, so I'm writing for items in LST. So what I'm referring? I'm referring that you have to go into the list and you have to look for the item. What are the items in the list? These are the items. Apple is one item, banana is one item, orange is another item, right? Now if you go ahead and print items, see, you get these things one after one. Okay. Uh, First apple, then banana, then orange. Okay. Now, there are a couple of things that you need to remember every single point of time that you are writing the code. So you can see after this, for items in LST, I have given this colon, right? So this is how you start off a for loop or any kind of loop, okay? Then you might have seen the moment I pressed enter, the print statement came down after four blank spaces. The four blank spaces were given, right? Now these are called indentation. Okay, an indentation is very important. It simply signifies that the print statement is actually a part of the for loop. Okay, you see, if I do not pass on the indentation and if I try to print it now, it will throw me an error, and the error is going to be called indentation error only. Okay, we have to pass on a indentation so that it gets into the list and allows us to print it. Okay, clear everyone, what indentation is and why do we require this? All right. Now, as I was saying, that you might say here also I am getting all the items, here also I am getting all the items. So where is the difference? Well, the difference is when you are running a loop, you get the freedom to pass on or to check for any condition into the loop. Okay. So let's say if I go ahead for items in list. Okay. But this time, instead of printing all of these items, I want to like pass on the count of each element. Okay, so let's say the length of each element. So what I can do, I can simply go ahead, print len. Okay, let me put item, not items. That sounds better. Now you see 566. So apple has 5 character, banana has 6 character, orange has 6 character. Okay. In the same way, if I again write something like this for items, sorry, for item in lst, print, yeah, item dot upper. What this will do, this will simply convert every single element into an upper string. Okay, apple, banana, orange. So you see, we are able to actually pass on condition or do some kind of modification or transformation into our data with the help of a for loop. Everyone clear till now? Now you can perform different kind of numerical functions with the help of a loop as well. Okay, so let's say I'm writing something like this. For instead of items, I'm simply writing I. Okay, in range. What exactly is a range? Range is a range of number that I'm going to provide. Okay, so if I simply write 5 and then if I print I, what will I get? 0 1 2 3 4. What this signifies? This signifies that you have to print every single element from 0 to 5. And you remember, in terms of indexing, we have learned that the last item is not considered. So if you have given 5 over here, it will always be 5 minus 1. Okay, so if you consider that as n, so the end number will always be n minus 1. Okay. Now this is something that where the starting step is assumed as 0, right? But yes, you can also provide. Let's say I'm saying, let me pull up another one. Let's say you were saying this time you wanted to print from 1 till let's say 10. Okay, what will you get? You should be getting 1 to 9. See, 1 to 9 you are getting. Okay. Now, if you remember, we have talked about starting point, we have talked about ending point, and we have also talked about the step. Okay, the same is applicable in case of loop also. So what I can do, I can simply copy and paste the code, and here I can simply signify that do a step jump and go into the second element each time. Okay, so right now if I print this, see, after 1 I came to 3, after 3 I came into 5, 5 to 7, 7 to 9. Okay, clear everyone? Now we have seen that how we can implement for loop within a list. Okay, let's also see how we can implement for loop within a dictionary. So let's say I am creating a dictionary. something like this. Name, let's say Alok. Okay, let's say class. I'm putting up, let's say 12. Let's, yeah, 12. Let's say marks. I'm putting up, let's say 85. Okay, Alok is a good student. Now, if I want to access the elements of the dictionary with the help of a for loop, here is a small issue. In list, we have a single element, right? List is not a key value pair. I have a single element. Apple is one element, banana is one element, orange is one element. If I do something like this, if I simply go ahead and run a for loop, okay, for I in, sorry, students, print I. See, if I do this, I will only get the key. Okay, so the key is considered as the primary element in a dictionary. Hence, if you simply do this, then you will only get the keys. But there is a way with the help of which you can get both key and value. There is a particular method called dot items, but there is also a catch. If I simply go ahead and write something like this, students dot items, okay, print I, it will give you the entire key value together, okay. But sometimes this might look a little bit confusing, right? But because you are seeing both of the things in a single tuple, okay. If you want to have these things separately printed in your record, you should follow a approach like this. So now in our loop, I'll take two items. Let's say for I and j. I is will be the key and j is going to be the value. Okay. And now if I do this, I'll simply put up let's say f string. The name is, and I'll simply put up I here, and the marks are j. Okay. If you print this, oh sorry. Name is the key, right? My bad. It should not be like this. It would be the key is and the value is. Yeah. The key is name, the value is alloc. The key is class and the value is 12. The key is marks and the value is 85. Clear everyone? So this is how a for loop works. Okay, you would be able to iterate through different data types like dictionaries, lists, and all. Okay. Now there would be multiple use cases of for loop that we will come across as we go ahead with our lessons. So we will look into that. Like when the time comes, we will definitely look into multiple other types of for loops. Okay. For the time being, let's go ahead and learn about while loops. That is the second kind of loop that we have. Okay. Okay. Now, while loop. What does the word while means? The word while means till the time a condition is true here. Okay. Let me explain. So let's say this says that a particular loop will only run till a given condition is said to be true. Okay. So how do we write it? We write it like this, while. And now you provide a condition. Let's say I'm providing a condition a equals to, sorry, let's say a is greater than 5. Okay. While a's value would be greater than 5, I would like to print this loop is running. Okay, a simple while loop. Now, before that, what I will do, I will simply pass on a value of 3. Okay, so right now, if I run this, okay, what will happen? It will continue to run. The loop will never stop. It would become an infinite loop. Okay, if I run it now. Why? Because at this point of time, the value of a is 3. Sorry, my bad. Let me put while a's value is greater than 3. Yeah, okay. So right now the value of a is 3 and my condition is let me put while a equals to greater than 3. So let me put 4. Okay. So right now the value of a is greater than 3 and at every single point of time it will remain to be greater than 3 only. So my loop will continue, right? Uh, it will create a infinite loop which will basically crash my system and I don't want that, right? So to avoid that, what I will do, I will simply add another logic. What I will do, I will say with each loop run, okay, with each loop run, what I will do, I will deduct 1 from A. So for the first loop, the value of A would be 4. For the next loop, it would be 3. For the third loop, it would be 2. Okay, so this condition will remain true only for the first two loops. Okay, now if I run this, let it run, it is connecting. Only for one time. For the first time, it was 4, then it became 4 minus 1, 3. And my condition is this to be greater than 3, right? So 3 is not greater than 3. Instead, if I have would have used equal greater than equals to, then you would have seen, oh sorry, it should be greater than equals to, it should go over here. Yeah, okay. Now it would have run two times because now the first loop my value of a is 4, but the next loop the value of a is 3, right? So I have two specific sections how it is running. Clear everyone? So this is how the while loop works, okay? The for loop and the while loop both are very important. In the while loop, I have given only one example, but down the line, we will learn about control statements like if else block. At that point of time, I'll show you more use cases of both for loop and while loop. For this point of time, as a starter, just understand this notebook and how you exactly a for loop and while loop is working, and I think you should be fine. Okay. All right. So let's keep it till here. Have a go at the lesson, download the notebook from the comment and let me know what do you think and make sure to subscribe. Thank you. I'll see you in the next video.